Hello guys, welcome to Buddy Academy. I am Nandini going to teach NCERT Physics. In this class we are going to discuss the second chapter, Electrostatic Potential and Capacitance, which is a continuation of the previous chapter, Electric Charges and Fields. Already we are familiar about the electric charges, right? Yes, we are going to continue this first chapter along with the second chapter. In this class we are going to discuss the following topics: electric potential and electric potential due to the point charge, system of charges, electric dipole and equipotential surface, and along with some important topics. Okay, yes, in this class I am going to teach you the following topics. Additionally, we are going to solve the previous year questions also. Let me see what is the electrostatic potential. Generally we are already familiar about the potential energy of a body, right? So which is a change in a position from one place to another place against the force, which is said to be a potential of a body, right? Similarly, we are going to discuss the potential of the electrostatic charges. Okay students, this is a very important lesson in behalf of the board examination. Yes, we are going to concentrate of each and every topic because none of the portions are omitted in this chapter. Okay students, let's begin the session. Past 10 years analysis of CBSE board examination. First, in the topic of potential due to a point charge, we can expect the very short answer, and potential due to an electric dipole, the very short answer and long answer and very long answer. So it is a very important topic. You may expect these questions from the potential due to an electric dipole. Then potential due to a system of charges, we will expect the short answer, and for the equipotential, very large amount of short answer will be asked. Next, potential energy of a system of charges. So here also large amount of short answer will be asked from this topic. Potential energy in an external field. So in this topic you may ask the short answer and long answer, and for the electrostatics of conductor you may ask very short answer, long answer and very long answer. So these are the mark categories. So for very short answer it was 1 mark, and short answer for 2 marks, and long answer for 3 marks, and very long answer for 5 marks. Okay student, let's see the introduction of this lesson. You may familiar about the term potential energy, which is a change of position from one place to another place. Okay, when we change the potential of position of a ball from one place to another to throw, so that ball will gain the potential energy, right? So similarly there is a potential energy for the static charges also. Let's see how the static charges are gaining the potential energy. So these are the example of the potential energy for the electrostatic charge, that is static charges. Okay, so let's see the simple example that you can clearly understand what the potential energy is. So in this example, the two tanks are kept at the level of a water. Okay, say the tank A and B. So these two tanks are the same level of water, so that none of them having a higher potential and none of them having a lower potential, right? So when I lift this tank to the certain height, so that it is having a higher potential, which is having a higher level of water, and this is having a lower potential, so that some work done has to be done to lift the tank, right? So this the same concept that we are going to see in the electrostatic potential energy also. So let's see this. Work done by moving charge. Before get into the word electrostatic potential, first we have to familiarize the word work done. So let's see what is a work done. Say the charge, so charge Q is present in a system. Okay, so that I am keeping a test charge, say small q, from the position R to the position P. So obviously the electric field is outwards of this charge, right, because it is considered to be a positive charge. So that some work done has to be done for moving the charge from the position R to the P against the electrostatic force. So this can be derived from the expression, that is work done from moving the charge from R to P, from the R to P, so that the external force, okay, so that the external force will become opposite but the same magnitude but in the opposite direction of the external electrostatic force. Okay, so that the external force has to be opposite to the direction of the electrostatic force, right? So that usually we have represent the work formula as a force into distance, so that we can move the charge from the R to the P with the infinite small speed. Okay, So the acceleration is 0. Okay. So that work done by the external force is the negative of the work done by the electric force and gets fully stored in the form of the potential energy. So that the charge will store the potential energy at P is greater than the charge which are having a potential energy at a position R. Okay, so this in this point the charge will acquire a more potential energy than this place. Okay. So that the work done is against the electrostatic repulsive force and which gets stored as a potential energy. So now we are going to move about the electric potential energy difference. So let's see what is the electric potential energy difference. It is nothing but the work required to be done by us. Okay, so by moving this charge from this point to this point against the electrostatic force, so that some external force has to be applied, right, without acceleration, so that you have to move with the infinite small speed. Okay, so that we have to move like this, very small amount of speed. Okay, from one point to another for the electric field of any arbitrary charge configuration. It may be a positive charge, it may be an electron, that is a negative charge. Okay, so the electric potential energy difference is nothing but it is between the 2 points, which is the work required by then external force. By external force, by moving the from one point to another point without accelerating. This is a word which is very important. Okay, so that you have to done the work against an external force, so that it is termed as a change in potential is equal to the potential of P. So here the potential of P which is lesser than the potential of R. Okay, say R be the another point which the charge is to be placed, so that UP minus UR is equal to WRP, that is a work done by moving the charge from the R to the P. So these are the very two important points, that work done, okay, it is independent of the path. Okay, it may be in this path, it may be in this path. I can move the charge from this place to this place by any direction in any path. Okay, so it is independent of the path. It is only depend on the initial and the final position. Okay, so when the arbitrary constant of is added to the potential energy at every point, it is not change the potential energy difference. Okay, so if you add the alpha, which is a arbitrary constant for the UP and UR, it will not change the value of the change in electrical potential energy difference. Okay. So let us see the potential energy. So till now we are already familiar about the word work done and the potential difference, right? So what is the potential energy? It is similar to the electric potential difference. By in this time we are moving the charge from the infinity to that point. Okay, so let us see the potential energy in a definition. Potential energy of a charge at a point in the presence of the field. Okay, so here the presence of the field due to any charge configuration is the work done by the external force. Okay, by the external force against the electrostatic force by bringing the charge Q from the infinity to that point. So that work done from the infinity to that point is equal to the electric potential difference of P and infinity, that is equal to potential energy at P. Okay. So let us see the electrostatic potential. It is already I have explained, right. So which is a work done by the external force by bringing the unit positive charge from the point R to the P. So which is equal to the Vp minus Vr, which is stored as a potential energy of in the charge at a point P. So Vp and Vr is nothing but it is a electrostatic potentials, which is equal to Up minus Ur by Q, which is a work done. This work done is stored as a electrostatic potential of at a charge Q, say Q. Okay, which we are moving from the charge from the point R to P. So the work done by the external force in bringing the unit positive charge from the infinity to the point is equal to the electrostatic potential at that point. So let's see what is the potential due to the point charge for Q larger than 0. Okay. say this discharge which we are moving is equal to 1 coulomb, okay, so which is a positive. So at some intermediate point, okay, which is at a delta r dash distance from the p dash, okay. So what is a electrostatic force on moving a unit positive charge, which is equal to, so already we have know the electrostatic force formula, which is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square r cap, okay. So let us see, so just substitute the values, so 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught and r square is taken as a common, instead of r square we are substituting the r dash here, okay. So the instead of r cap we are substituting the r dash cap. So we are already know that q is equal to 1 coulomb, so that we are multiplying it with 1, okay. So where the r dash is the r dash cap is a unit vector along p OP dash, okay. So it is along OP dash. So let's see the work done by moving the unit positive charge, which is equal to minus q by 4 pi epsilon naught r dash square delta r dash. So this is the work done by moving the positive unit positive charge. So let's see the total work done, okay. So what is the total work done by the external force is obtained by integrating the above equation from r dash, which is equal to infinity to the r, okay, from the infinity to r. So what is the total work done, which is equal to integration of limits, which is equal to infinity to r q by 4 pi epsilon naught r dash square dr dash. By integrating this we will get the expression q by 4 pi epsilon naught r. So by this definition we are getting the potential. So this work done is stored as an electrostatic potential, right, which is Vr is equal to same as the work done q by 4 pi epsilon naught r. So when the charge is replaced by a negative charge, say minus q, so in that time the charge is replaced as a minus q by 4 pi epsilon naught r, okay. So this is for the negative charge. Okay student, let us discuss about the potential due to an electric dipole. So till now we have discussed about the potential due to a point charge, which is V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r, right. So this is the expression that we have derived. So in this time we are going to derive the potential due to an electric dipole. So what is an electric dipole? It is two dissimilar charges which is having a same magnitude, say phi q or minus phi q, which is kept at a distance say 2a. So that is said to be a electric dipole. Okay, let us do the potential due to a dipole, which is a sum of potential due to a charge q and minus q. So first we are going to write an equation for the potential due to the charge q, which is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by, which is kept at a distance r1 from the point P, right. So yes, so next the potential V2 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by, so in this time it is replaced by minus q by r2, right. Yes. So by adding this we will get the potential, total potential. So let us derive the expression for the 1 by r1 and 1 by r2. So for describing the distance r1 and r2, which is a distance from the point P to the q1 and q minus q, so which is r1 square. So this expression that we have derived from the cosine law of triangles. So I will explain what is the cosine law of triangles. So yes, so this is the cosine law of triangles. A is equal to a square is equal to b square plus c square minus 2bc cos theta. So this is the cosine law of triangle. So here the A is replaced with R1 and B is replaced with R and C is replaced with A. Okay. Yes. So by substituting with the cosine law of triangles, we will get this expression. So in this we have indicating the plus symbol here. Why? Because here the value of theta is equal to theta, but here the value of theta is 180 degree minus theta. So that we will get the cos 180 degree minus theta is equal to cos 180 degree minus theta is equal to, which is equal to minus cos theta. Okay, so that's why we have substitute the minus symbol here to get the plus. So let us derive that. So by the binomial theorem, we are retaining up to the first order. Okay. By the binomial theorem, we are retaining up to the first term. So this is nothing but we are just taking the r square out of this expression. So that we will get 1 minus 2a cos theta by r. Similarly, we are doing for the second expression for the r2 square. Okay. So by using the binomial theorem, we are retaining up to the first order. So that we will get the, so here minus and minus will become plus, and this 2 will become cancelled. Okay, by the binomial theorem we are using. So we are just retaining up to the first order. We are not extending up to the second and third order and all. Okay, so by the first order we are retaining 1 by r, 1 plus a by r cos theta. So that we will get the 1 by r1 value here. So in the similarly 1 by r2 we are just taking the binomial theorem for that. So in this time we will multiplying the minus 1 by 2, so that minus plus will become minus and 2 will get cancelled. So 1 minus 1 by r cos theta. So yes. So we are going to substitute the value of the dipole moment. So what is a dipole moment? It is a product of the magnitude of charge with the distance between the charges, right? So SP is equal to 2QA. By substituting this, we will get the expression as a P cos theta by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. Okay. So for instead of P cos theta, we are writing P dot r cap. Okay. So is. So that the electric potential of the dipole that we have already derived, right? So which is equal to V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. After substituting the dipole moment, we will get P dot r cap divided by r square. So this is the electric potential of a dipole. Okay, so this expression is nothing but when the theta is equal to 0, in that time the point lies on the plus q. Okay, so in that time the potential is equal to plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by r square. So when the theta is equal to 180 degree, so in that time the P lies on minus q. So the potential is minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by r square. So when the theta is 90 degree, the P is on the center. Okay, so on the center of the dipole. Okay, it in the mid of the plane. So in that time V is equal to 0. Okay. So let us discuss the important contrasting features of electric potential of a dipole. So the first one is electric potential due to a dipole depends not just on r but also the angle between the position vector r and the dipole moment vector p. Yes, it is not depends only on r, it is also depends upon the angle between the r and p. The next point was the electric potential falls off when the electric dipole potential falls off at the larger distance. When it is a larger distance, so in that time it is having a inversely proportional to the r square, not as a 1 by r. In the point charge we have derived an expression 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r, right? So in that time it is inversely proportional to r. So when it falls off to the larger distance, in that time it is inversely proportional to the r square. Till now we have seen potential due to the point charge, electric dipole and system of Now we are going to see the system of charges. Okay. So till now we have seen point charge, electric dipole, right? Potential due to the point charge and electric dipole. So now we are going to see the system of charges. First, consider the system. So in the system there are many charges are present, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So 5 charges are present in the system. So how you find the potential at a point P? Say this is a point P present in this point. So you have to determine the potential at point P due to the Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 and Q5. Okay. So let us find the potential at point P due to the Q1. So due to the Q1, V1 is equal to, so generally we have known this formula that V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. So this is a generally known potential, electric potential formula. So by this formula we have derived the potential at V1 at point P due to the charge Q1. So V1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 divided by R1P. R1P is nothing but a position vector. So what is the potential at P due to the Q2 and Q3? Yes, similarly you have to put V2 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Here we have to substitute the value of the Q2, which is the Q2 divided by R2P. R2P is a position vector and value of the potential at P due to the Q3 is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q3 by R3P. So these are the potential at, similarly V4 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q4 by R4P, and similarly for V5 also. By adding all these individual potentials due to the charge Q1, Q2, Q3, you will get the total potential at a point P. So we are derived that V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V4 plus V5. So that we will get the expression like this. That is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is taken as a common term and Q1 by R1P plus Q2 by R2P until the n number of charges. Okay. So thus the potential outside and inside of the shell is given by, so in the outside the shell, what about the potential? It is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. So it is in the outside, in the inside it is having, so inside we have already known that inside there is a no charge, so that there is no work done by moving the charges, right? So that in the inside V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R, capital R. So this is the potential inside and outside of the shell. So let us see what is the equipotential surface. So equipotential surface is a surface with a constant value of potential. So entirely, for example, say in this ring, in the particular of radius R, so at every point the potential is same. Okay, and also note that in the electric field, for example, if I am having an electric field for the charge Q, so this is the electric field radiated outward from the charge Q, right? So that the electric field is always perpendicular to the equipotential surface. So this point is also very important. Okay. So for any charge configuration, equipotential surface through the point is normal, which is perpendicular to the electric field at that point. So this is a common potential for charge Q, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. So which is a point charge. So see this diagram. This diagram represents the equipotential surfaces for uniform electric field. So each and every point the electric field is perpendicular to the equipotential surface, right? Yes, in this figure some equipotential surfaces for a electric dipole, and this is for the two identical positive charges. So see how much the field are represented. So in this charge, that is two identical positive charge, the equipotential surface has this type of surface, and here the surfaces are repelled towards each other, so that it is having this kind of surface, equipotential surface. Okay student, let's see the relation between field and potential. So consider these two surfaces as a equipotential surface. Okay, so these two surfaces are the equipotential surface. I am moving the point charge, that is a unit positive charge, from the surface B along with the perpendicular from the surface B to surface A against the electric field. Okay, so here the electric field are present in this direction. So that I am moving the charge along with this electric field perpendicularly. Okay. So that here the potential V is present for the surface A and V plus delta V. So there is a potential difference, right? So what is the work done by moving the charge from the surface B to surface A? So here the direction of electric field is towards this side. So I have to do some work to bring the charge from the surface B to A against this electric field, right? So that the work done is equal to electric field, that is the magnitude of electric field, change of length. So this is the del L. Okay. So that I am equaling the work to the potential difference. So what is the potential difference here? So this is the V and minus V plus del V. So I am just subtracting to get the potential difference. I am equating with the work done. So by solving this, we will get the modulus E minus this V and V get cancelled, so that the minus delta V will come. I am sending this del L to that right hand side. As a result, we will get del V by del L as a answer. So this is the final expression that we have derived from this case. So that modulus of E is equal to minus del V by del L. So this expression that we have derived so far, right? So yes. So del V is a negative term. So that we will get negative, the positive sign will come. So that del V by del L. Thus we arrive at two important conclusions concerning the relation between the electric field and potential. So they are arriving two important points. So first point is electric field is in the direction of the potential. Yes. So that here you will see the electric field is towards the upwards. So in this direction the potential is decreases. So towards this the potential is decreases. The first point says in the direction of the electric field the potential is decreases steepest. Then the magnitude is given by the change in the, so it is nothing but this formula, this equation, the magnitude, that its magnitude means the electric field magnitude is given by change in the magnitude of the potential per unit displacement normal to the equipotential surface at a point. So this expression is written as a statement here. Okay student, let us see the potential energy of a system of charges. So till now we have seen the potential energy due to point charge potential due to, not energy, potential due to point charge, system of charges, electric dipole. Okay, so in the three cases we have seen what is the potential due to the point charge, system of charge and electric dipole, right. So in this case we are going to see the potential energy of a system of charges. So let us consider the system. Students listen carefully, because this concept, when you understand, the potential energy is very easy for you. So let us consider the charge Q1. Just imagine I am just bringing a charge Q1 for this system. Consider this as a system. First I am bringing the charge Q1 here. So initially there is no any other charges present in the system, right? Yes. So by bringing the system Q1, only the potential is, so there is no work done, right? Because there is no any external field is present, I have to put any force to bring that charge to this place. So initially there is no work done. So that work done for bringing Q1 is from the infinity to this point P, say P or Q, whatever may be. So here from this point P, so that it is equal to 0. So this charge produces a potential. So the potential was V1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1, the value of the charge is q1 divided by r1p, nothing but a distance at a point p in a space. So next consider the charge q2. I am next taking a charge q2 from the infinity to that space. So in this time there is a field due to the charge q1, right? For initially there is no field, but here the charge is producing some external field, so that I have to do some work. So the work done by moving the charge q2 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2, because I have to do some work to bringing the charge q2 in this space. So that the work done on q2 is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r12. So since the electrostatic force is conservative, the work gets stored in the form of a potential energy. Okay, so that every work is to be done on moving the charges is stored as a potential energy on that charge. So thus the potential energy of a system of two charges is U is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r12. So this is the generalized equation for any point charges. So note it down. So in the next case I am considering these 3 point charges. Okay, so here I am considering q1, q2 and q3, which is kept at a distance r12, r23 and r13. So there first I am in the usual case. Okay, first I am bringing the q1. So initially there is no any field is present in the system, so there is no work done, and but there is a potential at that place which is named as a V, say VQ1. Okay, so next I am moving the charge Q2 for the same system. By this time there is a field which is produced by the Q1, right? So that the work done in this step is Q2 V1, which is V is equal to QV, I have already said, right? So that work done is equal to Q2 V1 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 divided by r12. So this is the work done in this step by moving the charge q2 from the infinity to that point, which is having a position vector r21. So next the charge q1 and q2 produces a potential. Next I am moving a charge q3 later. First consider the potential. So this is a work done. So this is a potential. So what is a potential? But in this time there is a potential due to the q1 and q2. Okay, so that V12 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. That individual potential will be add up, so become q1 by r1p plus q2 by r2p. So next we are bringing the charge q3 for this system of charges. So that in this time the work done is equal to q3 V12 r3 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q3, and because first I have to take q1 into an account, next I have to take q2 into an account. Okay, so that q1 q3 divided by r13 plus q2 q3 divided by r23. So the total work I have done to assemble all these charges q1 q2 q3 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r12, next q1 q3 by r13 q1 plus q2 q3 by r23. So let us see the potential energy in an external field. In this case there is a 3 cases. One is the potential energy of a single charge, potential energy of a system of 2 charges, and potential energy of a dipole in an external field. So let us see the single charges. So this may be an asked in very short answer. So first the electric field is produced by the source charge named Q. Okay, so here from the previous case we have considered the field is produced by the charge, right? So there is no charge producing element in this system, but here there is a charge produced by the external field. So that we are not concentrating about the potential of an external field and all, but the external field is present. By in this term we are moving a charge from the infinity to that point, means so you have to consider you have to do some work. Okay, because there is a external field is present. Okay, so that the charge Q does not affect significantly, that is it does not affect the sources. Okay. Next, the potential energy of a Q at R in the field, external field was so that the potential energy of a Q at R is equal to QVR. So this is a potential energy of a Q at R in an external field. So let us consider the potential energy of two charges in an external field. So similarly the same procedure will be done. First the work done in bringing charge Q1 from infinity to R. So in the initial cases, that is a potential due to of a system of charges that we have studied in a previous topic, right. So there the potential work done is 0, but now the work done is not 0 because why? Yes, there is a presence of the external field. Okay, so here Q1 V R1 is present. Next the work done is bringing Q2 to R2. So in this Q2 V R2, this is a very simple one. So that the work done Q2 is against the field Q1 and the external field. So you have to put a work to against the Q1 and the external field. In the both cases you have to put against the work. So next work done in bringing the Q2 to R2 is sum of, so you have to add these two because this is a total work done, right. First you have to put a work against the external field and then you have to put a work against the field produced by the charge Q1. Very simple, students. So no need to memorize these and all, just understand. Next, the total potential energy of a system, that is the total work done by assembling these two charges is Q1 V R1, which is this, and Q2 plus Q2 V R2 plus Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught R12. So this is a final derivation that I got. Okay students, let's see the potential energy of a dipole in an external field. Consider this external field which is moving from left side to right side. Okay. So I am in that I am placing a dipole which is having a charge minus q and plus q, which is kept at a distance say 2a. So I am kept in a field so that it makes an angle theta with respect to the horizontal. So first I am considering this dipole which is having a q1 plus q and q2 minus q, which is placed in a uniform external field, and in this uniform external field. Okay. So in the previous case, in the previous chapter we have already studied there is a no force, net force present in the dipole, but there is a present of torque, right. So what is the torque that you have derived? Pe sin theta. Have you remember this equation? Yes. That is torque is equal to P. P stands for electric dipole moment and E stands for electric field. So suppose there is if there is an external torque, okay, so that it applies in such a manner that it neutralizes this torque. Okay, the dipole is rotating from the angle, consider the small angle theta naught to theta 1. Just it is changing the angle theta naught to theta 1 at a infinitesimal angular speed. Okay, that is a small, is very small, very small angular speed. So that is said to be an infinitesimal angular speed. Okay. So in the previous case also we have moved the charge from this point to this point in an infinitesimal speed, right. So in the same case it is also moved in a infinitesimal angular speed, that is moving very slowly, so that it becomes a angle theta naught to theta 1. So let us derive the torque equation. So what is the work done by external torque? How much of work done is to be done for the external torque? So that torque is calculated by from theta naught to theta 1 tau. So this is a tau external field which is I am externally applying. Okay. So that it depends on the theta. By integrating this we will have this equation, that is I am just substituting the value of the theta here, which is equal to Pe sin theta, that you already know. Theta is equal to Pe sin theta. Okay, by integrating this sin theta d theta, I will get cos theta naught minus cos theta 1. So this work is stored as a potential energy as electrostatic force is conservative. So that this work is stored as a potential energy of a system. So that we will get the final expression minus P dot E. So this is a final expression that I have derived, which is a potential energy of the system is equal to minus P dot E. So the potential energy expression then reads, so the potential energy is a difference of the potentials VR1 minus VR2 minus Q square by 4 pi epsilon naught into 2A. So this gives a potential energy. Okay students. So can you able to identify this equation? Yes, this is the equation that we get in the previous case, that is the potential energy on the two charges in an external field. Okay, by this expression I am just substituting here. Okay, so no need to worry how the expression is come. This is the expression that you have previously derived. So by this expression I have derived this equation as finally. That is, I am substituting the value of V potential difference as minus E into 2A cos theta, and similarly I am substituting this following values. So this is a constant. Since the constant is insignificant for the potential energy, we can drop the second term. I am dropping the second term here. Okay. So let me move the electrostatics of conductors. So first, so already we are familiar about the conductors. So what is a conductor? That it is carry the current. Yes. So what about the conductors in terms of the electrostatics? In the conductor, in the terms of the electrostatics, the every charge is evenly spread over the entire conductor. So this is a point that you have to remember for the conductors in terms of electrostatics. Okay, so these are the example for the conductors. So in first point was, let me see the properties of electrostatics of conductors. First one was, inside the conductor electrostatic field was 0. Yes, obviously already we have seen in the first lesson also. So inside every conductor the electric field is 0. There is a no charges, static charges present inside the system, so that the electrostatic field is also 0, because the charge produces a field, right? So there is a no charge inside the system, so that the charge is present only on the surface, so that the electrostatic field is only on the outside of the system, not in the inside. So next point was, at every surface, at every surface the electrostatic is normal to the surface. For example, if the surface is non-shapeable also, for every surface, if I want to denote the direction for the electric field, I have to draw the normal. Okay, I have to draw the normal for that each and every point, so that it is, this point says. So next point was, the interior of the conductor have no excess charge in the static situation. So already we have know that when the for example there is a neutral substance, I am applying the external field. Okay, so that the charge present in the neutral, that is a neutral charge, that will divide by positive and negative charges, so that will accumulate over the entire surface, not inside the system. Okay, so that there is no excess charge, present in the interior of the conductor in the static situation. Next, the electrostatic potential is constant throughout the volume of the conductor, has same value as inside the surface of the conductor is. The electric potential is constant. So already I have said, right, that is charges are evenly spread on the conductors, so that the electrostatic potential is constant throughout the volume of the conductor and also have the same value as inside the surface. Next, the electric field at the surface of the charged conductors. So inside the conductors there is a no external field is present. By the Gauss law we are deriving here, that is E is equal to this part, okay, that we are considering as a pillbox, okay, that is in a bulge state. First I am considering that E del S, that is equal to Gauss law. So Gauss law we have already know that phi is equal to Q by epsilon naught. So what is the value of a Q? It is surface charge density into that area, that is sigma del S divided by epsilon naught. So E is equal to, so del S will get cancelled, so that is equal to magnitude of sigma divided by epsilon naught. Electrostatic shielding. So what is electrostatic shielding? So whatever may be the charge, it may be a positive charge or negative charge which is having a field outside. So inside the cavity there is a no electric force or electric field is present inside the surface. Okay, so this is known as a electrostatic shielding. So these are the some electrostatic shield properties of the conductors. Okay student, let us solve some previous year questions. First question was a 500 microcoulomb charge is center of the square of size side 10 centimeter. Find the work done in moving a charge of 10 microcoulomb between two diagonally opposite points on the square. So let us consider the 500 microcoulomb charge is present at the center of the square, right? So which is at the center of a square. So we have to find the work done in moving a charge 10 microcoulomb between the two diagonally opposite points on the square. So in this case the two diagonally opposite points is maybe it is a equipotential point, okay. So in the equipotential point already we have know that in the equipotential the work done is of moving charges is 0. So the work done of moving the 10 microcoulomb of charge at the two diagonally opposite points on the square is said to be 0. So next question was, what is the electrostatic potential due to the electric dipole at a equatorial point? So what is the electrostatic potential due to the electric dipole at an equatorial point is a 0. Okay, this thing is I am already explained in a question answers. So the third question was a point charge Q is placed at a point O. So there we are placing a point charge Q. Is the potential difference V minus B positive, negative or 0? If Q is positive or positive first case, then negative. So when the Q is positive, so what about the V minus VA minus VB? And when the Q is negative, so what about V minus VB? So let's see. So I am considering the V minus VB is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by OA, so which is a distance between the charge and point A, and OB. So I am considering OB is greater than OA. So the quantities within the bracket is negative, right? Yes. So that when the charge is positive, VA minus VB is negative. So when the charge is negative, VA minus VB is positive. So this is the answer. The fourth question was the two charges 4 microcoulomb and minus 4 microcoulomb. So this is a dipole. Are placed at a point A and B 3 centimeters apart, depict an equipotential surface of a system. So you have to depict the equipotential surface. So the equipotential surface will become this. So this is the answer. The equipotential surface will become this. Okay student, let's practice this question. Derive an expression for the electric potential at any point along the axial line of a dipole. These questions I have already explained in this class, right? So you have to derive the expression for the electric potential for the point along the axial line of the dipole. Okay. So next, derive an expression for the potential energy of electric dipole of dipole moment P vector in the electric field E vector. So you have to derive an expression for that. The third was 2 point charges Q1 is equal to 10 into 10 to the power of minus 8 coulomb. Q2 is equal to minus 2 into 10 to the power of minus 8 coulomb are separated by the distance of 60 centimeter in air. Find at what distance from the first charge Q1 would the electric potential be 0. Next, and also to calculate the electrostatic potential energy of the system. So you have to calculate the distance and the electrostatic potential under the given condition. Okay. So the fourth was Draw three equipotential surfaces corresponding to the field that uniformly increases in magnitude but remains constant along z direction. How are these surfaces different from that of the constant electric field along the z direction? Just try these two problems and derivation. Already I have taught these two derivation, right? So it is become easier for you to practice in this two problems. I will give you an answer in the next class. Okay student, by this question I am winding up this session. In the next class we are going to continue the next topics. Okay, let's see in the next class students. Okay guys, let's see the recap for this session. First we have seen the introduction of this class, and later potential due to the point charge, potential due to the electric dipole, potential due to the system of charges and equipotential surface, and potential energy due to the system of charges and potential energy of a external field, right? And also we have solved some previous year questions in this class. In the next class we are going to deal about the dielectrics and topics relevant to capacitance and capacitors. Okay, yes students, it's your turn to prepare for the exam. Let practice, prepare and revise. Okay student, all the best for your board exams. Thank you. Let's meet in the next class.
For more queries, please contact Buddy on 98408 44987 or visit buddy.live.